What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again with another one. As always, thank y'all for all the love. Shout out to everybody hitting the subscribe button, rocking with me, and just keeping up with all the content. Couldn't do this without you great people, you beautiful people, so appreciate y'all. Today, we're looking at Kareem Campbell and the Wu-Tang Clan's impact on professional skateboarding. Now, if you've played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, how many of them it is, you've probably played with Kareem Campbell and hit the streets with him. I know I have. And then Wu-Tang, arguably one of the most dynamic, iconic, maybe the greatest rap and hip-hop group to ever bless the scene. We're going to dive into how these two parties came together to bring some culture to the skateboarding scene in the 90s. You dig? Let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Kareem Campbell and the Wu-Tang Clan influenced skateboarding during a time where a lot of black skaters like LeVar McBride, Javante Turner, and Carl Watson were not getting their just due. Not getting the same amount of shine like their white counterparts, Tony Hawk, Bam Margera, Rob Dyrdek, sure you've heard of those guys. Skateboarding as a whole in the 90s was still growing though. It was a sport derived from the streets.
Skating comes from the streets, and that's where Wu-Tang is from, and that's what they emulate, and that's what they're about. So I think for skaters, it's hand in hand, you know? It's just about that lifestyle.
Being kids from the street life, street culture, every day we hung in the streets, and we was probably trouble to the society, you know, but we found a way to channel some of that energy. When we wanted to leave the trouble, we would go and make music.
I mean, we pump Wu. Like, you know, one of the ads that I made for my company, Menace, was Enter the Wu-Tang, you know? Like, Enter the Wu was like Enter the Pooh for us, you know what I mean?
Just look at those early Menace ads and you'll see it, you know? Made the graphic, they turned the W upside down into an M.
How you doing? My name is Kareem Campbell.
Back in the early 90s, Kareem Campbell, originally from Harlem, New York, broke onto the professional skating scene with his explosive and grimy style of skating. And it lined up perfectly with the Wu-Tang Clan movement. Their lyrics matched his style, and he's been one of the most polarizing black skaters to touch a board to this day. Campbell locked in with fellow New Yorkers, the Wu-Tang Clan, and introduced their music to a new demographic it hadn't reached or even known about at the time, by throwing some of their early bangers on his early skate tapes. The trend spread like wildfire within the skateboarding culture. It was two cultures colliding at the same time. No one knew they would mesh so well. It added another element to the skateboarding culture that was missing before. Their ties went deep. Campbell mentioned in a 2021 interview with Red Bull how he had a cousin working for MCA Records, and RZA and Power, if you watched Wu-Tang American Saga, you're familiar with both, let him use Protect Your Neck on videos before it was even dubbed on a cassette tape.
Driving, there's no surviving. Rough like Timberland, where? Yeah, me and the clan and yo, the Land Cruisers out there.
Oh yeah, we pump Wu. Like, you know, one of the ads that I made for my company, Menace, was Enter the Wu-Tang, you know? Like, Enter the Wu was like Enter the Pooh for us, you know what I mean?
Just look at those early Menace ads and you'll see it, you know? Made the graphic, they turned the W upside down into an M.
We talk about how Suburbia was introduced into hip-hop, and this was one of the ways. Even when Power opened the Wu Wear store, Campbell mentioned how they made their own skateboards and were tied into his brand as well. In my opinion, this whole thing may have helped push the agenda and open doors for other black skaters to express themselves fully with less pushback from the community. Skateboarding has been noted as a white boy sport for a while in black culture, and even Latin culture, I've heard. Even though I had mad homies that skated, including myself, that's just what it was. I'm not saying Kareem was the first black skater, because that would be cap. But he did hold it down in the 90s and the 2000s, knocking down barriers, so other young skaters that are killing it right now could flourish the way they have. Skateboarding as a whole is embracing more black culture, and now it's an international sport all around the world. It's impacting even more with the black imprint all over it. Appreciate y'all locking in with me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Holler at me in the comments. Let me know what I should talk about next. Give me some topics. Always open to suggestions. Until next time, for all the latest and the greatest, this has been Live with Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. You did?